In the heart of Vancouver on July 15th, Vancouver's Rosewood Hotel, Georgia, after a dramatic restoration, opened its doors to the first guests, luggage and all. This legendary building is back with lots of fabulous history and walls filled with some secrets. Steve Halliday is the managing director of Rosewood Hotel, Georgia. He has been in senior positions in the hospitality world for almost 30 years. It is my pleasure to welcome Steve Halliday back to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to be here in Studio 4. It's a great opportunity for us to share together some stories of the past and look towards the future. And we're right into the future right now with the Rosewood Hotel, Georgia. So
you sure are, and we do go back.
We do.
You and me. First job here. Yours.
My
in the
first
hotel
job
game.
in the hotel world was the Ramada Inn at 1110 Howe, which is now another brand. And then I went to the Westin Bayshore in 1965 and started my career really from there. Went to Toronto, Edmonton, back to Vancouver to open the beautiful Pan Pacific for the World Expo in 1986. And then I went to Southern California with our company then, and then over to Singapore, where I spent 5 wonderful years. And then I came back to Vancouver and took another journey with Pan Pacific. And now my journey with Rosewood Hotel, Georgia is started about 18 months ago.
What are the major changes in the business of the hotel business from the time you started at the Ramada Inn to now?
Well, the big difference, if you look from the customer side, is the customer is in charge now of how he or she wants to buy a hotel product or any type of product, particularly in the hotel business. When people shop today for hotels, what we're seeing is they have their choice. They go through the different websites, but the best way to go is through the hotel website. And people today, we're finding, are looking more for the luxury brands versus the kind of the low-end tier, because people work hard today. They're fast-paced business. So when someone's going to go on a small vacation, instead of going to
the
Toronto or
motel,
whatever, they just you might be living in Victoria, Nanaimo, or Seattle, or Penticton. They decide, well, let's go to Vancouver. And we'll spend 3 or 4 days in Vancouver. So that's one change, and we're seeing lots of that happening. And but for the big picture, I think the internet has changed the world of hotels a great deal.
Even how you check in.
How you check in, yes.
Exactly, or check out.
That's right, that's right.
Or whether or not you get a newspaper. Or maybe you don't get a newspaper. Maybe they give you an iPad. I'm not sure.
We have all of that. And but you know, the real hotel business is all based upon relationships between myself and the guest and the teams in the hotel. So at the end of the day, our goal is people arrive as residents. We want them to leave as friends and return as family.
Exactly. And how long has this Hotel Georgia been around?
It's been there at Georgia and Howe 84 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's old.
She's old and she's beautiful, and she closed 5 years ago, so we've been sleeping for 5 years. And during that 5-year time, a great deal of planning was done by the local developer, Delta Land Developments. And the care of the history of the hotel was very important to the developer and to Rosewood Hotels and Resorts.
Well, everyone I know who's lived in Vancouver for the last 30, 40 years has some history at the Georgia.
They do. Everybody's got a story.
We sure do. And you had a contest, didn't you?
We did. We had what we call the Memories Contest, and we had many people apply, and we just asked people to share their memories. And one lucky couple won to be our first guest, Mr. and Mrs. Murray Allen from North Vancouver.
And their story was?
Their story was that Mr. Allen took his lady at that time to dinner at the Cavalier Grill, and he forgot his wallet. So she had to buy dinner, and that's where their roots were formed. And he was our first guest on July the 15th. And he said that he hadn't been back since, but this is now going to be his new home. And so we checked him into a beautiful suite, and they both had a wonderful time.
I'm sure. And the hotel itself, didn't Grace McCarthy have a flower shop? Was that the Georgia?
She did.
Gracie's Flowers?
Yes, I think that's where Gracie started, and there was
Jack Webster was there broadcasting.
That's right.
The late, great.
Yes, yes, and also the late Gary Bannerman was there with NW Radio, and they had the studio there.
That's right, and they had that bar.
Yes, they had the bar. And then the George V, which is down the staircase, that's going to be opening sometime in the late part of this year and early next year as Prohibition, which is going to be a special lounge with live entertainment and music. So.
Oh, great! Because UBC students hung there, didn't they?
Oh, they sure did.
Lot.
They sure did. And of course, all those UBC students are now, grown up and in businesses and all over the world. So we hope they're going to certainly come back.
You bet. What about sightings in the lobby? I was staying at the Stanford Court in San Francisco many moons ago. Walked into the lobby. Truman Capote was there. My goodness. Now, if you walked into the lobby of the Georgia many moons ago, Nat King Cole, Kate Hepburn, or did she ever hang in the lobby?
Oh, I think she did. Matter of fact, I think she was part of the room service development in hotels years ago. I'm talking in the 40s.
Right.
Because she stayed at the Georgia, and she actually wanted room service in her room. And in those days, room service really wasn't an important thing, but she kind of made it that way.
Really?
So, yeah, she definitely was a part of that history of the hotel. Elvis Presley was there in 1957. Yeah, the Georgia Hotel book, which I know you have a copy of, has many, many stories of Hollywood North, which was...
Absolutely. Well, impresario Hugh Pickett, the late Hugh Pickett, everybody's late.
Yes.
they're all gone. But that said, he was a great friend of Katharine Hepburn's, as you know. And Katharine didn't want to eat in the hotel restaurant. She wouldn't eat there.
That's right, yeah.
Not a chance.
And Ivan Acri from the Orpheum Theater,
right.
He used to bring a lot of people over to the Georgia. So.
And the racial barrier, the Georgia was one of the first hotels, I believe, to say if you're black and an entertainer, you can stay here.
That's right. And E.W. Hudson, one of the famous hotel managers of all time in Vancouver, he actually brought Nat King Cole over to the hotel and kind of broke that barrier. So that was, I believe, in the mid-40s.
Sure, because people who weren't alive then don't know, but perhaps they do.
Yes.
That if you weren't white.
That's right.
You had to stay out of town in a motel, even though you were performing.
That's right.
For all the fancy white people.
That's right.
I know. It's shocking today, but it was then. This whole refurbishing includes what? I know you have a salt lap water pool somewhere.
Yes, we do. Well, the refurbishment has been very carefully done to bring it back to the 1927 era, but modernized, of course. We have the original mahogany, we have the original flooring, the original clock, but the hotel was completely gutted and it went from 315 rooms to 155.
Okay.
So, and all the rooms are obviously much larger. The average size is about 420 square feet.
So not the New York closets?
They're not, no, they've gone. They've gone. We don't have closets anymore. The rooms are very spacious, very bright, spa-like bathrooms, beautiful scent spa, a spa that is next to the fitness center, the laptop pool.
Saltwater laptop, I read.
That's right, that's right. So it's one of those, for a 155-room hotel, there's a lot going on in the hotel, particularly with Hawksworth Restaurant.
Sure, he was here, David Hawksworth.
I know he was. I saw the show. It was a great show. So.
And the art, the Canadian art, focusing on Canadian art. How great that is.
The hotel is blessed with about $1 million worth of Canadian art. It's the largest private collection of Canadian art in Canada in a hotel. And one of the pieces in the lobby is kind of an eye-catching piece. The only non-Canadian piece of art that is a very, very special looking piece of art, and you have to really see it to believe it.
Whose is it?
Well, it's a group artist out of UK, and Patrick Hughes is his name. So,
Patrick Hughes.
Yes. And
he was here.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Yes, I wish he'd have left something, but he didn't.
Well, you have to come to the Rosewood Hotel, Georgia to see his work.
Apparently I do. What do you do in a hotel about security around a Patrick Hughes, for instance?
Well, all the art is protected. No one can just automatically pull it off the wall.
Right.
It's protected with security features. And so with that amount of investment, we've taken a great deal of care and watching. We have lots of TV cameras to protect it. So, but when you walk through the lobby and into the public space, we have the around 10,000 square feet of social public space for weddings and
Sure.
things of that nature. So the art really adds to the beauty of that space and the lobby space.
And if you're a rock star, if you're Bono, where would you stay? If
Well,
you stayed at the Georgia.
yes, you'd stay at the Georgia, and we have two beautiful presidential suites. One, the Lord Stanley, which is 2-bedroom, and one, the Rosewood Suite, which is 3-bedroom. But the best part of the suites are the 2 rooftop decks on top, which will take a party of up to 60 people. So there's no suites in Vancouver like these, and the demand for these suites is very, very strong right now.
Can you eventually live at the Georgia? I know there's another tower. Tell me the drill.
Well, the homes at the residences of the Hotel Georgia are 156 homes in the tower. It's a 48-story tower, and yes, you can own a home in that building. They're beautiful. They will have access to the saltwater pool, the fitness center, and Scent Spa. And so home buyers are very interested in that
Right.
location, obviously, because of all of the amenities that go with the home purchase.
Right. I stayed at the Pac Rim, the Fairmont Pac Rim. Oh, my.
It's very nice.
I would like a home there, too.
We have one for you, Fanny.
There's
one waiting
it's over
for you.
my budget.
No, we can.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Have
maybe
you got
not.
a small space?
Well,
Or are they whole floors?
Well, there's a variety of
Right.
homes available.
Okay.